Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Just a quick heads up before we get started on this video. I was looking through my old recordings and I came across a bunch of videos from 2019 from a 2 versus 2 tourney that Nimzo set up. So here's a bunch of games from that. I've gone through to see if they're okay, and I think, you know, for a suite of videos, I think they're good. But the big warning is these are old meta and old balance. These do not represent the current meta and the current balance. Do not take necessarily build advice or unit composition advice immediately from this video. Take it as an idea for things, but don't try and copy the stuff because it's, well, the balance is old, basically.
Here we are in game 2 of Nimzo's 2v2 tournament on Lo Wang.
It's an island map. Hello. Where are our spawns? I don't actually recognise this map at all. It's a nice seed.
I reckon we're going to have a spawn here. Yep, there's one. And...
oh. It's a single spawn game. And they're not too far apart from each other, actually, it must be said. In the grand scheme of things. Also, you know how I'm getting my energy for this evening? Through Roundtree's Fruit Pastels. Bag opened. Oh, those are a bit hard. Here we go. Into the North spawn. Team Red, we've got Innocents and Gregors. Both very good players. Bots and Naval first for these guys. Going up into double air on the land. Using the bots to go for the amphibious stocks. Meanwhile, on the south, in Team Orange, we've got Smurf and Nimzo. Air and vehicles. So we're going to have some drifters out of this, and they're not too distant. And we're going air fabs with the air factory. No naval first. Naval fabs coming out of that naval factory. And, yeah, that's an interesting disparity straight away. Straight away. Firefly coming out for the scout. 2 fabs sticking around together. And piranhas to defend our 2 naval fabs in Team Red. Looking around, the Firefly's going to see the air fabs. Oh, that was close. I don't think they did. They did see the drifters. It's possible that they did see air fabs, though, actually. It's possible. It's very important if they did or didn't. It's going to mean big things for the next part of this game. Looks like they might well have done. Here comes an interceptor going hunting for those air fabs. We're going to want some defense there from Team Orange. Move those interceptors in for a good micro. Yes, on the south side of the screen there. Meanwhile, we've got a pelican drop with the vehicle fab there from Team Orange onto the platform around the equator. Nice and safe. In both instances, we've got an expanded fabber and 3 mechs. Going into an naval factory, ×2 for Team Orange, and more air factories too. Second land vehicle factory as well, going for a heavy drifter presence. Already closing in on the Northern Island spawn. Team Red pinging saying, "Oh, hey, look, they're on this island." Of course, docks can always move in and give them a little bit of pressure. No problem. There, bombers coming in to deal with these drifters. That shouldn't be a problem. You know what you need to save your drifters? Interceptors! Air superiority. Get it. There we go, the docks down to the mid, having scouted that expansion straight away, going straight for the fabricator there, and locking it down nice and quickly
Indeed, the air fabs moving around the back of the planet now, locking areas down, possibly just popping around a few of these, maybe even bringing up some naval factories in this sort of cordoned off area here with a few rocks, but it's possible that they won't quite make it with some dodgy air micro, but we'll have to hope that their air micro is fairly decent. In comes some air of its own there. They're going to target the air fabs. They might just about. No, they don't quite get a pick on at least one of them. Very good defense there from Team Orange. Team Red, though, desperately trying to deal with that drifter. Dropped next to that naval fab. What? Oh, wow. Pelican drifter drop. Since when was that a thing? Well, that naval fab's toast. Goodness. Thank you for the follow. I don't know how to... I'm not German, I can't pronounce that. All I can do is say thank you very much for the follow. Look at this. Micro these drifters coming in from all sorts of different sides. The air roving around now. Look at these air fabs. They are unprotected. This is prime time for Team Red to come in. Swooping in out of nowhere. And hummingbird their way to victory there. Team Red pinging. They're seeing all sorts of stuff. Team Red, though, they did manage to get that early expand fast. There go the air fabs. Good night. No more expansion from you. Team Orange there regretting not permanently having a hummingbird force next to those fabs. It's a bit of a shame. Oh. Oh. Potential threaten for the naval fab there. Are they just about going to grab it? Looks like they will. Another fabber snipe for Team Orange. This is not going well for Team Red, who all of a sudden look backed into a corner as we've got a little naval blockade now on the equator. T2 air now coming up from Orange as well. Literally just started. The moment I saw B13 Tactician's message in chat. Nicely done. Team Red are playing very, very defensively now. I think they have been put on the back foot big time by this drifter strat. Going that bot factory. Why is this commander... Personally, I would have had this commander up on these front lines because they would help against the air. They'd help against the naval. But instead they've got the build power going for that T2. They must really value that T2 naval factory. But they've got to get some torps or something going up here to defend against this. Otherwise these orcas, once these narwhals join in to defend from the air, are just going to rip and tear through this base. Of course, don't forget you have got two commanders to kill, not just the one. Team Orange there. Still not quite finished with their T2 air. But Team Red pushing in now down the side here. This could be potentially hazardous for Team Orange. They're going to put up some hard defences indeed. There we go. Look at all those lovely and ugly torpedo launchers. Ugh. Turtle, anyone?
Enemy commander meltdown imminent.
Oh dear. That water's not as deep as you thought it was, my friend. That's how not to use a commander against naval. Just so you know. Idle Pelican. Pick up a fab, maybe? Now this is interesting. Red now moving into the vehicles and drifters, going around the other islands where Team Orange has colonised. Going to counter all of that quite handily. Quite nicely indeed. And we've got Phoenix in the T2 air. Not altogether sure why we don't have T2 Naval showing its face. Oh, that was the worst air micro you'll see this tournament. Oof. Team Orange. Oh. Ouch. So despite Red losing a comm here, they actually seem to be in a very strong position. They've cordoned off most of the naval from Orange. The expansions are pretty comparable, as seen in the eco tabs up there. Game is pretty even Stevens, but Red has the bigger army. A lot of that is air, but air dominance is necessary. And of course, they still have a commander, and as long as that commander lives, so too does Team Red's hopes and dreams. See, notice how Red is playing more aggressively with their air, whereas Orange is picking off the odd metal extractor around the equator. They're not really pushing further than the equator at this point with their air. Too sheepish and too flimsy an air force at the moment to really do anything concrete with that. And Team Red really expanding into the naval on the back of this map now. Surprised we don't have a second T2 air factory coming out, or a T2 naval factory. Though that being said, these teams do need a bit of T2 eco first before they can really support too much else. Getting a T2 air fab to help in the base of Red could be a risky but rewarding strat. Come the Orcas once more. There's no air to ground in that force whatsoever. And all of a sudden, this could be potentially hazardous for Red, as was the last naval incursion. But we've got some defences coming around the side there, in the form of Piranha subs and Orcas. Phil says look for locust opportunities. I don't think there's time to build locusts here. In an ideal world, I'd have locusts all day, every day, in hordes, 1,000 strong. But you just gotta prioritise the factories you build, and I don't think locusts or slammers justify their cost against T2 naval and air here, because the power combined can be really quite potent. Although, that being said, drifters are doing pretty well for Team Orange here. Wouldn't you agree? Taking out some base mechs now too. The thing is, Orange investing a little more in the naval now, in the equator, and shoring up all of their expansions to make sure that they do not lose any more. Bombers going straight for the mechs. Oh, the air micro again, Team Orange. Ah! Oh, and then straight into narwhals. And then straight into Galata. Oh, dear. Oh, that couldn't have gone worse. Team Red need to use their air power now slightly more efficiently. They need to start thinking, how can I use bombers to best effect?
Thank you for the follow, Person Man 21. Much appreciated. I do like it when folks follow me.
Oh. Commander going against the piranhas there. Will just about survive. Needs to get out of the water though. He is prime target. Having a little scout around the back of the base there is Team Orange. That'll give them a nice view to a kill here actually. Because all of a sudden they'll see there's not a lot of defense around the back. Not piranhas, thank you, barracudas. That's what I meant. Piranhas are the wee pew-pews. Look at this, both of Team Orange's commanders now weakened. Team Red with a sizable naval force just around the back, pinging his ally saying, use this, go in. This could be curtains for this commander, leaving the other very, very flimsy commander, the only commander left standing for Team Orange. So despite early on, Orange getting a nice, clean kill on a red comm, could see the reverse happening very, very soon indeed. Orange getting their comms straight out of the water. They know he's in danger. Get him away from that naval force. That is a big problem. And that's a little pesky barracuda as well. Oh. That was interesting. That was coming up as blip. No. We don't build that here. Look at this. This is not good for Team Orange. Ah, there we go. Team Red with their T2 air fabber at last, bringing them out of the red in their economy. I wonder what Team Red is pinging there. Maybe saying, let's go and raid it? Or let's go and drop something there? It's possible. Saying, there's a fabber that we can kill there. Move in. I fear that we are nearing the end of this game there. Commander's moving up somewhat, pinging it, saying, oi, look, there's a comm there. This force from Red, though, there's nothing to stop this now. There's a few torpedo launchers there, but they can't really stop this many orcas. The moment the orcas start firing at them, there we go. Quirty in chat asks, why are all their factories idle? They don't have a huge amount of eco at the moment. They're only just about floating power. But all of their metal will be in this building, Naval up here. And they know that Naval is where they are potentially going to actually win this game, because they know that they're too far behind in the air game to deal with it. And investing in this right now is a way to kill off a commander. They've got to be careful with their own commanders though, does Team Orange. I might think maybe about rushing up T2 Naval, but it's very, very close here because this is their time limit. Team Red's naval force from around the rest of the map is finally closing in on the defense, and that's the all or nothing. Completely repulsed, and that right there is GG. Too much defense. That T2 air fab, MVP torp spammer. That's disgusting. That is disgusting. Who likes that? If anyone says they like the look of that, you're wrong.
Enemy commander meltdown imminent.
There we go. Down goes one orange comp. Momentarily. Boop. There we go. And the others in the base, ready to be picked off. But that was a good turnaround for Team Red, who lost a comp very, very early on. You can't do that in a one pass. Denied. Just a few walkers moving in. So many fabricators for Team Orange when they don't really have a lot to be able to build. Look at this guy. He sat behind this air factory. Oh, there we go. Leviathan saves the day. Gregors and Senescence claim victory on this one. GG, well played.